In 1910, two great expeditions prepared to do what no human had ever done: stand at the very bottom of the world. From Norway came Roald Amundsen, the quiet strategist. From Britain came Robert Falcon Scott, the national hero. Both men dreamed of the same prize: to be first at the South Pole. But what no one knew was that this race would end in both triumph and tragedy. Amundsen's original mission was to explore the Arctic, but when word spread that others had already reached the North Pole, he made a daring decision. In secret, he changed course for the South. Even his crew didn't know until they were already at sea. Their destination, the most hostile place on Earth. Their goal, to make history. Amundsen built his base on the edge of the Ross Ice Shelf, a place he called Framheim, home of the Fram. There, his team of 5 Norwegians trained their sled dogs, prepared their gear, and studied the weather. Every move was planned, every step measured. They waited for the perfect moment to strike. Swift, silent, and unstoppable. In October 1911, Amundsen and 4 companions set out across the ice. They discovered an unknown glacier, the Axel Heiberg Glacier, and used it as their highway to the polar plateau. For nearly 2 months, they battled blizzards, frostbite, and exhaustion. But their skill with skis and dogs gave them one priceless advantage: speed. And on December 14th, 1911, they made history. Amundsen and his men became the first humans to reach the South Pole. Meanwhile, on the other side of the continent, Robert Falcon Scott led the British Terra Nova expedition. Unlike Amundsen, Scott's mission was as much about science as glory. His men gathered rocks, fossils, and data. They studied penguins, glaciers, and magnetism. They were explorers, but also scientists on a mission to understand the frozen world. Still, deep down, Scott wanted that victory, to bring Britain the honor of being first. After months of brutal struggle, on January 17, 1912, Scott and his final team reached the pole. But as they approached, a dark flag came into view. The Norwegian flag. Inside a small tent, a note from Amundsen confirmed the unthinkable. They were 34 days too late. Scott wrote in his journal, "The worst has happened. All the daydreams must go." Defeated, but determined, Scott's men began their return journey. But the weather turned savage. Their supplies ran low. One by one, they fell. Frostbitten, starving, too weak to move. In March 1912, just 11 miles from their supply depot, the last 3, Scott, Wilson, and Bowers, died in their tent. Scott's final diary entry read, "For God's sake, look after our people." Amundsen returned home a hero, the first man to stand at the South Pole. Scott never came back, but his story became legend. The fossils his team carried revealed that Antarctica was once a warm, living world, proof of continental drift. Amundsen showed the world how to survive the ice. Scott showed the world the cost of ambition. Together, they defined the meaning of exploration. In the end, both men reached the edge of human endurance, one in triumph, one in sacrifice. The race to the South Pole was more than a competition. It was a test of spirit, a reminder that even in the coldest place on Earth, the fire of discovery still burns.